Nelson DeMille is a familiar name on the New York Times bestseller list. His 15 novels have sold more than 30 million copies all around the world.
In his new book, The Panther, anti-terrorism special agent John Corey goes on a mission to Yemen, and Nelson DeMille joins us at the table. Can I just say that I was a Nelson DeMille virgin until yesterday. This is my first Nelson DeMille book, and I was up late because of you, reading your book and watching the debate, and I have to tell you, I'm hooked.
Thank you.
Hooked. So set the scene for people who haven't gotten into all gazillion pages of the book, because it starts with a brutal crime,
right?
Set in Yemen, very timely.
Yeah, this is like the sixth book with my character John Corey, who's NYPD homicide detective, now a contract agent with the Joint Terrorist Task Force.
And his wife is FBI.
And his wife is FBI Special Agent Kate Mayfield. The previous 5 books were all set in the States, mostly New York area. This is the first one. I took him out of the country, and he got assigned to Yemen. He doesn't want to go there. Nobody wants to go to Yemen. But he goes to Yemen to look for the Panther. The Panther is actually a Yemeni American who was born in Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
Yes.
Raised here, went to Columbia University, but took up the cause of jihad, went back to his ancestral home in Yemen. And I postulate, this is kind of based a little bit on truth, that he was one of the masterminds of the USS Cole bombing that took place in February 2000.
And then the story is off to the races.
Right, and that was the beginning.
That's
right.
the premise of it.
And so how much of your book is fact and how much of it is fiction? Because you're clearly weaving in what have been some terrorism news events in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the facts as the skeleton of the book. I mean, the facts are all true. If they sound true, they probably are true. But novelists make it up, and you got to make up the dialogue. But it all hangs on, you know, the incident was the USS Cole bombing. The Joint Terrorist Task Force, which is mostly domestic, is stationed in foreign countries, Yemen being one of them. So the facts are there. I mean, this is not a primer on how to fight terrorists, but if you read the book, you're going to learn something.
But I got the impression, though, I took it almost like a history lesson of Yemen and their cultures and the people that live there and what they believe. So I thought when he went to Yemen, he must have learned so much. And then you said, have you been to Yemen?
No.
And then I'm thinking, how do you must know people. You've got to know people to get this detail.
Well, I did know people. You know, I usually go to wherever my book is set. You know, I had a book set in Moscow. I went to Moscow, Belfast.
Why didn't you go to Yemen?
I was advised not to go to Yemen.
Okay.
It's partly because of the type of books I write. Also, Yemen, even 2 years ago when I was writing this book, was a hot spot. It was starting to unravel. It's always been unraveling. Now it's because it's total chaos there. I wanted to go. My wife said, don't go.
Yeah. Always good, isn't it, Nora, when a man listens to his wife?
Yes, it's probably not a good idea. It's been dangerous. We just learned, of course, a security chief assassinated in Yemen. Where do you get the ideas from your stories, and how many current counterterrorism officials do you talk to for your research?
Yeah.
I have some good sources in the Joint Terrorist Task Force, which is located here downtown 26 Federal Plaza. Some FBI people. I've been doing this for a while now, so some of the people that I spoke to initially are retired, and they tend to speak more freely when they're retired. So these are good sources. I don't name the sources, it's not a good thing. Even retired people don't want to be acknowledged in the book. But I kind of fell into this 10 years ago, just having to know people who worked at 26 Fed with the Joint Terrorist Task Force.
Are you friends with our John Miller? He could be a great help to you. Are you friends with him? You should meet him.
John did one of the first interviews back in 1978 with me when I had my first book, By the Rivers of Babylon.
Okay.
I'm
wondering if there's John Miller in that book anywhere. Thank you, Nelson DeMille. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's a page turner, as they say.